Hey, my name is comedian Nate Robinson, and you are watching Midwest League TV. Well, pretty much, man, I supply funny shit, and what I mean by that is jokes and jokes and jokes. Been doing comedy for over 7 years, so pretty much that's what I provide. Whether the gig, wherever the venue, wherever it is, I'm not too humble to say, okay, let's go ahead and do it. So pretty much stand-up is what I do. Writing, I also do a lot of writing as well. So it's pretty much what I do. What made me want to become a comedian, pretty much just watching, all the old school BET comic views and just really getting into it as a youngster. So when I finally got the opportunity to perform, it was basically on a dare. Somebody was doing an open mic. This is back in college at Ball State Church. But anyways, they was doing an open mic and dude was bombing real bad. So I jumped up there and said, I can do better. Got up there and damn near, did my thing. But I didn't realize how much art and how much craft went into stand-up comedy. So when I first started out, it really wasn't that good, but as I kept going and going and going, not quitting, and just staying consistent and staying active, it all started to click for me. So been doing comedy, stand-up, I'm all over the place, not just Indianapolis, pretty much seen every city and every state just from stand-up comedy alone. So it's not only allowed me to meet a lot of amazing people, but it's also allowed me to see a lot of amazing places at the same time. So it's an honor. Pretty much the process to getting into stand-up comedy is pretty much just hitting up open mics. So a lot of comedians in the Indianapolis area was the reason why I got into stand-up comedy. One of the first people to give me an opportunity was Tana B. Shout out to Tana B. She gave me my first opportunity, first book show. And after that, I just started hitting up open mics. Aisha Brown, Dwayne Cobb, two other people that have been doing comedy for a long time, pretty much kind of showed me where to go and different places to go to. Not only hitting up clubs, but just hitting up like bars and different type of open mics, just meeting different people. So that's pretty much how I broke into it. Now, as far as breaking into the comedy clubs, just going to the open mics, looking at the having a producer or having a booker see you and finally give you the opportunity to host one of their regular shows. So once I got that opportunity, I took full advantage of it, and that's pretty much how I got into a comedy club. Now, as far as just regular shows and everything like that, it's all about marketing. Social media, for instance, content, it's all about content. The more content you create, the more stuff you create, people see that, reach out to you and want to book you. So that's pretty much how I've been getting booked, is just by being silly, not in just real life, but on the internet. So that's pretty much really how I kind of broke into the industry. A lot of people ask you a lot of different things in stand-up comedy. I feel like a lot of promoters will have you do stuff that you're not accustomed to doing. Like promoters will they'll book you for a show, but then they'll ask you to do beyond what's expected. Like if you book me to do a comedy show, you're booking me for just a set. Now, if I get there and, hey, I want you to do this, well, of course I'm gonna have to say no, or we're gonna have to up that pay. So when I first got into comedy and doing shows in different cities, I always said yeah. It didn't matter if I got paid or anything. It's just about just getting on stage and showing people that I'm funny. I don't gotta be funny in front of my own people. I can be funny anywhere else. And if you're funny in front of people you don't know, you got it. So the more I started doing that, the more people started seeing me, treating me serious. So then when those same bookings started hitting me up that they never paid for anything, hell, I started telling them, hey man, the price done went up. So hey, you gotta book with me, or you can go book somebody else and wait for their ass to be funny. But right over here, over here on the east side, yeah, we don't play no games. So yeah, the price done went the fuck up. And I'm happy about that, because you get to see people that really treat you like celebrities and stars when you outside of your hometown. And that's what really made me go hard, because I get to see what goes on in my hometown. And the people that they book to do certain shows and stuff like that, you'd be amazed how many people will do shows, but who they hit up first. And I'm typically, I ain't gonna say I'm the top, but I usually get hit up. That's why I love B Swift, because everything B Swift turns down, that shit comes to me, and that's always a good opportunity. So shout out to B Swift. What made me get into stand-up, honestly, like I said, not only looking at the stuff on TV, but just seeing different comedians and how they come about being, how they're great. Like, you'll never know Bob Saget, for instance, man, how he used to do America's Funniest Home Videos. But if you ever see his stand-up, he cuss like a sailor. You would never think that's Bob Saget. Wow. A lot of comedians, once they get past the comedy circuit, they get into doing TV and everything like that. So I'm thinking to myself like, well, I can do that too. So it's all about putting in that necessary grind. So that's pretty much why I wanted to get in there. I wanted to do something a lot different, but stand-up happened to be the one. Honestly, I'm still mad, so I'm still working it. Like I said, comedy is an art. It's more of an art than it is about being funny. You can be funny and say certain stuff, but it's not gonna translate to when you get an opportunity to do stand-up in front of like a live audience, TV. So it's different styles of being funny. You can be clean, you can be dirty. Now, when I first started doing comedy, I couldn't say one word without saying fuck afterwards or shit afterwards. But the more and more I practiced and the more opportunities I got, and the more I realized like, oh, I'm not just doing comedy in front of us. I'm doing a comedy in front of white folks, Hispanics, everybody. You gotta be able to be versatile. So I can say like, it allowed me to be more versatile, and I could be more universal funny versus just being urban funny. I feel like being urban funny is the least, it's not gonna get you where you wanna be being urban. Now, if you wanna just be, like I said, all around, it's gonna get you everywhere. Cruise ships, churches, places where they cut the check before you start doing stuff. Not after and be like, hey bro, yeah, I'm supposed to pay you this, but take this, my nigga, and you know, we'll look out for you next time. And you never hear from the nigga again. So yeah, it's pretty much how I, got better. My tips for any entrepreneur that's out here like trying to do a production for comedy, make sure you have your own audience. Make sure you got your own following. Don't rely on the comedians to bring people out, because comedians, we'll do all we can to promote, but it's up to you to make that event tight. So for you, just make sure all your I's is dotted and your T's is crossed before you even plan on anything. As far as for any aspiring comedians, write you a 5-minute bit. It could be about anything. Most likely write about your life. Nobody can predict what you are. A lot of people they feel like they see everybody else on TV and be like, oh, I gotta talk like that. You don't necessarily gotta talk about that. You gotta talk about what you live through, because nobody can live your life besides you. Come up with a 5-minute bit, squeeze it all together, and get on stage and be you. That's all you gotta do. As long as you can be funny. If you trying to be somebody else, portray somebody else, we gonna know it's fake from a long ways away. And one thing I love doing, I've picked up, is a lot of comedians do, like new comedians that I've never heard of or just pop up. I guess they heard of me or seen me before. I show love to anybody. I don't got no big head. You can talk to me about anything in comedy. I feel like I'm one of the go-tos. I'm not gonna say I'm the go-to, but if you wanna ever get into comedy, it's easy. Reach out. I don't mind helping anybody because somebody took the time to help me out. So I owe it to that person that helped me out to help anybody out that didn't need. And only thing I just tell you, write, stay consistent. Stay on stage, you know what I mean? Don't get on stage 1 week and then don't come back from a month. Just niggas like driving. If you ain't drove in a month, you're gonna be fucked up. So stay consistent. The more consistent you be, the more funny you be. The more comfortable you're gonna be on stage. Well, hell yeah, I got a lot of shit coming up. But I'm gonna give you 2 things that you really need to go to. We do Funny Mondays. Every Monday, me, Ted Hardy, Mike Trees, at the Bella, 56 and Lafayette Road. It's only $5 to get in, $5. Come out and spend your Mondays with us. My next event, now this is my personal comedy show I'm doing. It's gonna be at the Mimi's Event Lounge, 1115 North Arlington Avenue. We're bringing comedy back on the east side. And I got a special treat for y'all, since y'all are Leak. Leak is my people. So since y'all my people, I'm taking $5 off anybody that mentions Leak Magazine or Leak on the website. All you gotta do is put Leak Magazine or Leak, $5 off, that's on me. All my contact information, all social media is the same, Nate Skate Comedy. If you wanna reach out to me, go on my Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Nate Skate Comedy, Nate Robinson. That's pretty much how you get a hold of me. If you want an email, it is nateskatecomedy317@gmail.com. Book me, I do everything. Weddings, divorces, caught up, if you get caught up, first job interviews, surprise divorces, cheaters, we do it all. I can do anything. I can do anything. Clean, dirty, funny, classical. I do it all. Book your man, Nate Robinson. Not the nigga that got knocked out. nigga from Indianapolis.